Everyone, please check your audio and video settings, guys. Yes, guys. Yesterday we have seen how to develop Spring application as 100% code-driven configuration application. What is the thumb rule there, guys? Configure user-defined classes with stereotype annotations and link them with configuration class. Link them with configuration class using @component scan. Configure predefined classes. Am I audible, guys? Configure predefined classes using @bean methods. Actually, predefined classes means we should create object and we should return object in those @bean methods. So then IOC container makes them as Spring Beans. IOC container makes them as Spring Beans. That is what we discussed, right? Okay. Okay, now listen. So today, let me prove that if no bean ID is given, what guys? If no bean ID is given for @bean methods, method name itself acts as the default bean ID. Okay, where is this 100% code driven? Yes, boss. If no bean ID is given, the method name itself acts as what? Default bean ID. Now listen, I'm not giving this @bean. I just kept @bean only. @bean only. Now listen. Actually, I'm getting target class object, but this time I'm interested to get dependent class object also. Get local date class object from IOC container. Yeah, I can get any bean object from IOC container was. Now tell me here, what is this? Local date time. Local date time. DT is equal to ctx dot get bean. What is the bean ID I have to pass? Okay, local date time dot class. Now listen, here no bean ID is given. Then method name itself acts as the bean ID. Method name itself acts as the bean ID. Method name itself acts as the bean ID. Java config test dot Java. Observe this. Oh, I think how to prove it has come up. Sys out. Okay. Data. Something plus DT. Let's see, guys. Data. It has come means what, guys? So it is taking this one as a default bean ID or not? Default bean ID or not? Okay. in XML driven configuration. In XML driven configurations. In XML driven configurations, the fully qualified class name. The fully qualified Spring Bean class name. The fully qualified Spring Bean class name becomes default bean ID. The fully qualified Spring Bean class name. If same class is there for multiple times, hash n becomes a default bean ID, right? Okay. Next, in annotation driven configuration, the Spring Bean class name, having first letter in lowercase becomes a default bean ID. Next, in 100% code driven configurations, 100% code driven configurations, and while working with @bean methods, in stereotype, let me be very, in stereotype annotation configurations. In stereotype annotation, while working with @bean methods in 100% code driven configurations, the method name becomes default bean ID. The method name becomes default bean ID. Here, what is that, guys? Bean class is equal to com.nt.beans.wishMessage generator. com.nt.wishMessage generator. Here, what is default bean ID, guys? Default bean ID. The default bean ID is copy. This is one option. Or another option is, we discussed already, I'm just giving all together, #0. That's the default bean ID. Okay, boss. Next. Here, public class wishMessage generator. Public class wishMessage generator. Here, @component. @component. The default bean ID is wishMessage generator, guys, but W small letter. wishMessage generator, that W small letter. Okay. Here, tell me. Okay, why to waste time? Here, code is there. Take this one. In @configuration class, things are like this. Things are like this. Here, what is that? Default bean ID is create local date time. That's it. Method name itself becomes default bean ID, boss. Right. And that is the story about the default bean ID in all the three approaches, boss. Yes, guys. Now listen carefully. At the rate configuration. At the rate configuration. At the rate configuration annotation not only makes the Java class as configuration class and it also makes it as Spring Bean. It also makes it as Spring Bean because at the rate configuration internally uses at the rate bean. What is that, guys? At the rate component annotation. At the rate component annotation also makes it as Spring Bean having configuration class name as default bean ID. Class name as the default bean ID. Yeah, this is one fact that you have to remember, guys. Open the documentation of configuration. So at the rate configuration also stereotype annotation. Other day I have given list of stereotype annotations. At the rate configuration also stereotype annotation. Come on. Configuration docs. At the rate configuration docs. Everyone please look at this. It is internally having component. Did you notice it? It is internally having component. So that means it makes a Spring configuration class also as a Spring Bean. So if you want, you can do injections on configuration class. Come on. If you want, you can do injections on configuration class. If needed, we can do injections on configuration class by using at the rate auto void. Can we do that or not? Yes, definitely by using at the rate auto void, we can do injections also. Configuration class properties on that also we can do it because at the end it is a Spring Bean. Don't forget that. Yes, in future I'll show that one. Don't worry. But you just remember it is not just a configuration, guys. It also makes that configuration class as Spring Bean. I hope you realized that. Okay. Nice, boss. Now listen next. Converting mini project into 100% code driven configuration project. configuration project. This is our requirement. Okay, guys. So first, I will take. Already we converted up to annotations already there, na boss. Having annotation already there. Otherwise, I will take XML one. I will straight away take XML one. Can I take XML one? Yeah, we'll try to convert straight away XML one so that you will feel so many things from scratch. Copy, paste. What is the project number? 2400p code. 2400p code. Real-time DI, real-time strategy DP. Yes, first we will do without property file. Later we add property file support also. Yes, boss. Close all here. Close all here. Next. Here we are having application context.xml. Here we are having application context.xml. Okay, now I have to remove it. But here what is the thumb rule, guys? Predefined classes using @bean methods. User defined classes using stereotype annotations. And link them with what? Configuration class. So now, is there any need of this XML, guys? No need of XML. I am removing it. So first of all, let me configure user defined classes. Comment it. What I should comment. Okay. Go to DAO. Files cannot be commented. Akshay boy. Practice babu. Practice. Code can be commented. Files cannot be commented. Great fellow. Okay. And moreover, when XML is not required, why should I comment that file? Now listen. Right. @repository. I think you remembered. Cust MySQL DAO. Cust MySQL DAO. Fine. Here, what is this? @auto-void. Is there any need of this constructor? No. Right, boss. Cust Oracle DAO IMPL. Cust Oracle DAO IMPL. Tell me. @repository. What is that? @repository. Custvara DAO. @auto-void. Is there any need of this constructor, guys? Not required. Let it be. But we need to inject data source, boss. Okay. We need to inject data source. Not there. So here is my package. What is the package? com.nt.config. Nice. Similarly, here app config was what, guys? App config. Yes. In this app config, what should I do? @configuration. @configuration. Okay, cool. Now here, what is this? @component scan. Base packages. Listen, service is going to be there in com.nt.service. DAOs are going to be there com.nt.dao. And controller is going to be there in com.nt.controller. Instead of mentioning 3 packages, we can just mention only one package, that is a root package, that is com.nt. Over na boss? Okay, now first we have to concentrate, guys. Customer DAO MySQL one expect MySQL data source object. Oracle one expects Oracle data source object. And in the first attempt, I decided not to work with properties file. So now I have to take 2 data source beans are here. Now I have to take 2 data source beans. I have to take 2 driver manager data sources. Come on, guys. I have to take 2 driver manager data sources. Okay. But they are predefined classes. Predefined classes means what should I do, guys? What should I do? Tell me. Predefined classes means XML. In 100% code driven configuration, you have to go for XML. Abhishek Singh, shame on you. Practice, Babu. Practice. Configure by using @bean method, right? We need to configure by using @bean method. Now listen. Public driver manager data source. Create DS for Oracle. Array my choice method name ra babu. Create DS for Oracle. Come on. What is the bean ID? @bean name is equal to tell me vara DS. Vara DS. Control plus shift plus O, guys. Now sys trace. Okay, to give the feeling, no problem. We know how it executes. Driver manager data source DRDS is equal to new driver manager data source. Next, DRDS dot set driver class name. Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. DRDS dot come on, guys, set URL JDBC colon Oracle colon thin @localhost 1521 XE. DRDS dot set username system. DRDS dot set password manager. Return DRDS. Return DRDS. And same thing I have to copy paste for MySQL also now, boss. Create DS for MySQL. Yes, guys. Driver class name. Tell me what is JDBC driver class name? com.nt.cz.jdbc.driver. Next one. JDBC colon. Okay. JDBC colon. MySQL colon. Praneeth, but data is different now. How can you take global variable? Okay, everyone look at the chat box. Praneeth is asking one question. Everyone look at the chat box, guys. Can I take driver manager data source object outside the bean methods? Outside the bean methods. Suppose at a time both are required, then it would be problem now, boss, if you take it as a global variable. So that's why my suggestion is better to take inside the method as a local variable only. Yes, here is my MySQL DS. Here is my MySQL DS. Okay, guys. Next, JDBC colon MySQL colon 3 slashes. 3 slashes. Now tell me, boss, what is the logical database name? NTSP. I forgot. I forgot again. NTSP. Anyone remembered? Okay, no problem. We will go to previous project and we will get it. Sindhu, yesterday I have taken local date time as global or RESTful. Please observe the code. I have taken as a local variable only. Okay. NTSBMS 714 dB. Okay. NTSBMS 714 dB. I'm trusting. Okay. Driver class name com.mysql dot. Yes, boss. Com NT BMS. Okay. Next, what is the username, guys? Root. What is the password, guys? Root. And DRDS. Now listen, this is of data source. This is also of data source. Then there is a possibility of getting ambiguity problem or not. How to solve ambiguity problem, guys? At the rate qualifier. How to solve ambiguity problem, my dear? At the rate qualifier. Okay. Here how to pass it? Bean ID, var ds. Okay. Ashish, mostly app config class, we should create container object and call business method. App config is not a client application, Ra Babu. I think you missed yesterday's class, Ashish. App config is alternate for Spring Bean configuration file. First attend classes, then you won't get this kind of questions. Dirty fellow. App config is alternate to what? Client application. Dirty fellow. Attend classes or practice. Come on, guys. App config is alternate to client application. Okay, guys. Oh, I think this is for MySQL. Okay, fine. MySQL DS. MySQL DS. This is MySQL DS. Here is what? At the rate qualifier VARADS. At the rate qualifier VARADS. I think with this we totally completed DAO part, guys. Data source creation DAO part is over. Easy or difficult? Predefined classes using at the rate bean method. User defined classes using stereotype annotation. If any ambiguity problem, here also at the rate qualifier. Okay, now what is next? Service class, guys. Now what is next? Service class. Tell me how to make it service as a Spring Bean. Okay, cust mgmt service. Some bean ID, boss. If you don't give default bean IDs. As usually at the rate auto void. Do I need this? No. Here also we have a 2 DAOs, guys, and I have taken interface type. Ambiguity problem may come. So if you want to talk with Oracle, what should I do? I have to go for again at the rate qualifier. At the rate qualifier. First of all, I want to talk with Oracle database software. What is the bean ID for Oracle data DAO, boss? Cust or DAO. What's the bean ID, guys? Cust or DAO. Done. Cust or DAO done. Okay. With this service class is also over. Sir, you have not linked service class with the configuration class. Who said? Who said I write com.nt means everything is linked. Everything, all three sub packages related service DAO controller is indirectly linked. Now go to controller, guys. Now go to controller. Now tell me here. At the rate controller. Service, no confusion. Only one thing is there. No need of any qualifier. At the rate auto void is sufficient. At the rate auto void is sufficient. Right. Even controller is linked with the configuration class, guys. Even that part is over. Now what is next? Client application. In client application, what is this? Reading inputs, storing into this. Here we should use what, guys? IOC container creation using annotation config application context. Annotation config application context. CTX is equal to new annotation config application context. Here app config dot class. Here what, guys? App config dot class. In this place, what is that? CTX dot get bean. Cool. Once everything is over, close container. CTX dot close. Once everything is over, CTX dot close, guys. I hope you understood this, guys. Easy? Easy or difficult? Okay, for controller, bean ID is not given. Right, let me give the bean ID here. At the rate controller, bean ID is controller. What I am using in the client? Same controller bean ID also I am taking. Shall I run the application, boss? Run as Java application. Enter customer name, Karan. Address, Hyderabad. Principal amount, 30,000. Rate of interest 2. Time is 10 months. I have chosen Oracle, guys. Customer registered successfully. Customer registered successfully. Okay. Now I want to move to MySQL. Yes, as of now, we have to hard code only because still I have not introduced property file. Copy this, paste it, custom MySQL DAO. Custom MySQL DAO. See this? Custom MySQL DAO. Real-time DI test. Naresh, Hyderabad, principal amount 40,000, rate of interest 2, time is 10. Now it is inserting record into MySQL database software. Come on, guys. Converting into 100% code-driven application is easy or difficult? Easy or difficult? Easy. But now, two things I want to do, guys. Number one, I don't want to hard code JDBC properties inside configuration class. I want to get them from property file in 100% code driven configuration, and I want to use them in @bean methods. Earlier we have used property file content in Stereotype annotation based Spring Bean classes are in bean tags of XML file, but we have not used in what? @bean method. First time we are going to use property file content in what? @bean method. Are you listening? There is a change. There is a change, right? Are you noticing the change, guys? We have to use in @bean methods. Okay, guys. So first I will give screenshot of this project and I will take another project adding the property file support. Adding the property file support, I will give another project. Yes. No, this is not the one. Is it the one, guys? Yes. Okay, fine. Mini project done. Okay. Rajesh Magar, app config is a class or method. If you practice, you will never get this kind of doubts. Everyone look at the chat box. He has asked me one question. Instead of app config dot class, can I pass app config off? Okay, first of all, you have to respect the predefined constructor that is there for app config application context, guys. When it is expecting object of java.lang.class, how can you pass this? What it is expecting, that also matters, na boss. What it is expecting, my dear. What is expecting? Object of java.lang.class. So when it is expecting object of java.lang.class, you have to pass object only, na boss? Right. Okay, guys. Wasubi, when you have a fixed data, better to take singleton scope only, na boss? When you have a fixed data, go for better to go for singleton scope. That's why I have taken data source beans as a singleton. If no scope is given, what is the default scope? Singleton scope. Is bean scope not required for Oracle data source and MySQL data source? Mr. Vasu, other day also we have taken singleton scope and today also we are taking singleton scope. Moreover, this is fixed data, na? Okay. I think everyone comfortable with this. All your doubts are clarified related to converting 100% project into converting 100% mini project into 100% code driven project, guys. I'll just paste only this one. Kaushik Angur, it closes the container. It closes the container and all and destroys. ctx.close method closes the container and destroys all singleton scope bin that are there in the internal cache. Attend classes, Mr. Kaushik, regularly. Don't come once in a while for time pass. Okay, guys. Now tell me here. App config.class. App config.java. Yes, paste it. App config.java. Okay, boss. Done. So now I would like to add property file support, guys. For the same project, I would like to take property file support. Right. Property file support. Shall we go for it? Reading. Reading content from properties file. Okay, reading content from property file. Mahesh Kumar, Mahesh Kumar, if you configure same class twice, then what happened? Hash n will come or not? Dirty fellow, attend classes regularly. Don't come once in a while. Suppose wish message generator I configured twice. Date class I configured twice without bean ID. Then what happens? Fully qualified class name hash 0. Fully qualified class name hash 1. We already discussed. Dirty fellow, attend classes regularly. Then why are you linking with interviewer? Don't link with interviewer. First you attend classes, then link with interviewer. Nowadays people have become smart people. They miss the classes and they will say interviewer is asking. Oh, okay, fine. I'm seeing, guys, most of the questions based on old topics are coming because they are missing classes. They are not even realizing they have those things are discussed in the classroom. Missing class is not a crime. Not reading the document of that day is a crime. Before attending class, if you spend 10 minutes time to read the document, what's your problem, guys? You are not that much busy like Modi and Mamata Banerjee. You have a time to watch news. You have a time to watch WhatsApp. You have a time to watch Facebook. Why don't you have time to go through the pain-rich content? Okay. Before fighting for rights, try to realize responsibilities. Without realizing responsibilities, if you fight for rights, no use. Okay. Before judging someone, before judging celebrities, before judging everyone in social media, first judge yourself whether I am doing my work as a citizen sincerely or not. Okay. Reading content from property file into reading content from property file into @bean method. @bean methods of configuration class. @bean methods of configuration class. This is my requirement, guys. Okay, how to do that one? Step number 1, prepare properties file. Prepare properties file. Here also I will prepare properties file. Okay, let me take a copy of the project, guys. Copy, paste. IOC pros 25. Real-time DI, real-time this. But I want to take properties file, boss. Here I would like to take properties file. Cool. Where is property file, guys? Here is my properties file. Package. com.nt.commons, and the file I want to take is jdbc.properties. The file I want to take is jdbc.properties. Yes, boss. Now tell me here, jdbc.driver. Comment you can write jdbc properties. jdbc.driver oracle.jdbc.driver driver jdbc.url jdbc.url oracle:/jdbc:/thin @localhost 1521exe. Next, jdbc data, database data, database.user system, database.password manager, database.password manager. Cool, guys. Database.password manager. Okay, we are ready with property file. Okay, I'll paste the property file. Here is my jdbc.properties, guys. Say paste, and it is in the package. What is the package, guys? com/nt/commons package. Step number 2. Step number 2. Shilpa madam, did I ever said property file name is fixed? Practice, madam. Practice. Don't just in the classroom. Don't just sit in the classrooms. This indicates in your workspace not even one project of Spring Basics is developed. Okay. Any file name you can take. In different projects, I have taken different property file name, right? Sometime info.property, sometime jdbc.property, sometimes something else I have taken. I also forgot, right? Practice, Babu. Practice. Sometime inputs.properties. Guys, if you study like this, while learning Spring Boot and microservice, you are going to face the problems. I'm telling straight away on your face. To bear my depthness of the subject, from your side also continuous hard work is required. Every day, fresh day means not going to work out. I'm talking about file name only, madam. Okay. And keys also my choice. Keys also my choice. Did I ever said keys are fixed? Only in Spring Boot keys are fixed. In remaining all environment, keys are user defined. Yes, in Spring Boot keys are fixed. I will come to Spring Boot later. Here keys and values are user defined. This is also old point. Okay, guys. Next one. Configure properties file with configuration class using @property source. Anyone says property source annotation is new? I'll do cold-blooded murder. One day, 45 minutes I spent time on it, right? Config, app config.java. Now tell me here, at the rate property source. At the rate property source. Here, what is their name? Here, what is their name? Name or location? I think value. Directly, I can give value. Yeah, this is location, guys. Location, value. So, value is equal to file com/nt/ commons/ JDBC dot properties. JDBC dot properties. Configured, guys. Okay, first of all, tell me, whenever I work with property source or context colon property placeholder, the values collected from property file, system properties, environment variable directly injected to bin properties, or first of all they will be injected to one more special object maintained by container. First of all, they will be injected to one more special object maintained by container, or directly they will be injected to Spring Bean properties. They will be injected to container managed special object, right? They will be injected to container managed special object. What is that object, guys? Environment object, right? What is that object? Environment object. Okay, guys. Sandeep Kumar, at the rate property source, now I have applied on predefined, applied on configuration classes, Spring Bean. Sandeep Kumar, we are not going to lose anything because I have applied on configuration class, which is alternate to configuration file. I am not going to lose anything. Realize, if I applied on what? Stereotype annotation classes, then I will be losing that. But right now I have applied on what? Configuration class, which is alternate to XML file. Okay, now listen. Okay, a few minutes back only I said configuration class is also Spring Bean. Okay, we can also do injections on this Spring Bean. Did I say that statement? Did I state that statement? Environment object is already there with whom, guys? Container. I want that object in object in configuration class. So what should I do? Very interesting, guys. Private environment object env interface type at the rate auto void. Okay, this proves two things, guys. Number one, the property file info comes and stores into environment object. That is container created object, guys. Number two, configuration class is a, what is number two? Configuration class is a, come on, guys. Spring Bean. Configuration class is a Spring Bean. That's why I can do injections on. That's the reason I can do injections on predefined class. This is very, very important. Other days internals now helping us to understand this statement. Helping or not helping, boss? Okay, guys. Next, step number 3. Step 7. Inject the IOC container managed environment object. IOC container managed environment object to environment object where properties file, system properties, and env variable values will be stored automatically to @configuration class using @autovide. Using @autovide. Right, boss. I'm giving for both steps together. I'm giving this. Here, some more lines of code will be there. Right now, we are least bothered about. Some more lines of code will be there. We are least bothered about it. This is step 2 related property source, guys. This is environment object. This is step 2 related property source, and this is environment object. Done, boss? Yes. Next, step number 4. Okay, step number 4. Read values from environment object. Environment object in @bean methods. @bean methods. Okay, guys. Environment object does not contain property file, Babu. Environment object contains property file info. Property file info. It won't contain file. It contain property file keys and values. Dharmendra Kumar, you are misinterpreting the statements. Right, guys. Now listen. Is there any need of taking two @bean methods? I'm collecting from property file now, boss. I'm collecting from property file. I can take only one and I can change them dynamically or not. Super, boss. Now tell me. Bean ID DRDS. Bean ID DRDS. Okay, guys. Here you observe. Okay. env dot get property or required property. Your choice. Get property or get required property. Anything you can use. env dot. Someone asked me what is the guarantee. How can you say property file information stored into environment object? If not there, how can I call this, guys? JDBC dot driver. env dot get required property JDBC dot driver. Next, env dot get required property JDBC dot URL. Okay. env dot get required property. Are you try to call toString method on environment object? You will be knowing this. db dot user. Keys, guys. Keys. Because in environment object, they will be stored as key value pairs. Environment object internally hash map kind of object. Why? Next one. env dot get property. env dot get property. Now tell me here. db dot password. Okay, db dot password. Okay, people are asking me, why are you not using placeholder? Why are you not using @value? @value you should use on the properties, bean properties. Is there bean properties, guys? Is there bean properties? They are method statement, Java code. At the rate value should be used where? On the top of bean properties. Right now, I need them in bean property or Java code where method calls are happening. Java code where method calls are happening, right? So that's the reason no question of using at the rate value. And without at the rate value, no question of using placeholders. No question of using placeholders. Got it? Okay. Array get required property gives error if key is not there. Get property gives null if key is not there. That's the difference. Someone asking me what is the difference between get required property, get property. Get property gives null if key is not there. Get required property throws exception. Strictly it must be there. If not there, throws exception, not the null. Throws exception if not there. Array, at least you can go by method names now, boss. Right, guys. Note, since these are Java method call statements, method calls statements, we cannot use at the rate value with placeholders. At the rate holders with placeholders. Come on. Placeholders. Placeholder. Shilpa madam, do you have any common sense before asking this question? Everyone, please look at that. If you are not mentioning property name in environment.get required property, then how it will find exact matching value of particular key? I'm mentioning key na, madam. I'm mentioning key na. And moreover, in environment object, how they will be there? Key and values. Again, this question I asked because some classes are missed. In environment object, it's a map collection. Keys will be there, values will be there. Property file keys, map object keys. Property file values, map object values. Got it? And what you are mentioning is key. From map collection, by submitting key, we cannot get the values. Okay. First use common sense. Later spring, later other things. So by seeing property, don't think that I'm passing property, boss. No, 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 no. Method is like that. I'm passing key only here. These are the keys. Observe very carefully. Right, boss. Keys passed as argument. Okay. Nice, boss. This is done. Okay, now tell me, boss, in DAOs, do I need to add a qualifier? No. Do I need to add a qualifier? No, not required, right? Only auto void is enough. Because do I need to add a qualifier? No. Okay, boss. Now not required, guys. 1 minute. Let me give this complete app config.java to you people as part of this step. With this, working with property file is over, right? App config.java. Okay, boss. This is very important for us. End of the class, guys. Here are the keys. JDBC.driver, JDBC.url, JDBC.db. Fine. Nice, guys. Okay. Now, service class. Still, I have not solved that problem. Service class, we have to write one or other qualifier. Service class, you have to write the qualifier. Still, I have not collected that one from property file, guys, right? Okay. Shall I run this application, boss? Shall I run this application now? com.nt.test, real-time DI, run as Java application. Current address, principal amount 40,000, rate of interest to time. So I think right now, right now active one is what, boss? Active DAO is MySQL, but I am giving Oracle JDBC properties. That's why it is hurted. So now what I do is, right, boss. Oracle this one. Now you observe it. Current address is Hyderabad. Principal amount 40,000 to 10. Yes. Simple interest amount 80,000. Simple interest amount 80,000. It's working for Oracle. Yeah, definitely it also work for MySQL. Do I need to test it? Not required. Okay, to give the feel also I have to test once now, boss. Right. Now tell me here what is this? com dot mysql dot cz dot jdbc dot driver. Okay, guys. JDBC colon MySQL colon 3/s NTSBMS 714 DB. Array 2 minutes work, Babu. Wait. Root is the username. Root is the password. Real-time DI test. Karan, Hyderabad. Feel happy. We are learning big concepts with respect to project development, right? Oh, why error? Why error? Because in the service I didn't change the comment. In the service I didn't change the comment. Real-time DI test. Suresh, Hyderabad. Principal amount 90,000 to 10. Got it? Sir, everything is nice. Collecting values from property file also very super great. But I didn't like changing from one DAO to another DAO by touching the source code. By touching the source code. This also I want to get from properties file. This also I want to get from property file. Alias. We have to take alias. But problem is, alias will not work without having XML. Alias, because there are two solutions for this problem. One is alias using XML. Next, Spring Profiles. Still, I have not introduced Spring Profiles, but I have introduced alias, right? Come on, guys. Spring Profiles. Spring Profile means no need of XML. But still, I have not introduced that concept. We are going to discuss in future. Leave it. So now we have to work with alias. But to work with alias, XML is required or not required? To work with alias, XML is required, right? But problem is, in our client application, container is expecting XML configuration class. Container is expecting XML configuration class. Configuration class. Then where you write how you link XML, sir? How you link XML with the container, right? How you link XML with the container? Very simple. We have to link with the configuration class because now configuration class is main class now, boss. Now configuration class is main class, right? Okay. So that's why, see this, what I'm going to do it. Okay. Solving, not environment object, sorry. Okay. Don't guess, concentrate. So here, package guys. Something is not possible with annotation, then bring XML in 100% code approach and link that XML with at the rate. So configuration class by using at the rate import resource annotation. What annotation? Import resource annotation. com.nt.cfz guys. I'm taking application, any name you can give. But we are habituated to Spring Bean configuration, guys. Application context dot XML. Say next. Beans tag. I think context tag may be required. Finish. Yes, guys. Now here, what should I do, my dear? Here, what should I do, my dear? Here, what should I do, my dear? Here, alias tag. Alias, what is the alias? DAO. Alias, what is the alias? And here, at the rate, choose DAO. Remembered all this stuff? Placeholder, choose DAO. Placeholder, choose DAO. This is old. Come to this place. Choose DAO is equal to, now tell me. Custvara DAO. I think this is the bean idea of Oracle, na? Custvara DAO. Custvara. XML is taken. Alias tag is taken. Come on, guys. Sham, as of now, no annotation. As of now, no annotation. That's why I'm bringing XML. As of now, no annotation. But without XML, we can solve it by using profiles. Since I have not introduced Spring Profile, that's why I'm showing solution through XML. Right. Pulithirupati Reddy at the rate property source is not sufficient to activate choose DAO. In other day also we derived not sufficient. That's why we have come here. Come on, come on. Other day also we discussed only property file is not sufficient. That's why we have entertained XML. Same thing here. We tried all permutation and combination, nothing worked out. That's why we have gone for what? Alias tag using XML. Remember that? Okay, now the question is how to link this XML with configuration class. Yes, very simple, guys. At the rate import resource. At the rate import resource. Here you have to specify the location. Tell me here what is that? com/nt/cfz/ application context.xml. Application context.xml. So now you observe, guys, right now, active JDBC properties are what? I should take Oracle properties as the active JDBC properties. I should take Oracle properties as the active JDBC properties. And active DAO is also Oracle cust DAO. Come on, guys. Real-time DI test. Now you observe. Customer name Karan, Hyderabad. Acha, qualifier I have not changed. 1 minute. 1 minute. Go to service class. Should I write qualifier like this? No. How should I write qualifier now? With alias name I should write. What is alias name? DAO. 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 Alias name you can give. Alias name you can give or a hard coded one you can give. But you cannot give key of the property file or value of the property file directly. Because for that one @ value is required. We cannot write qualifier value using @ value. Other day we tried and failed in many angles, right? Then only I introduced alias tag. Remember that. Name Karan, address. So that's why I said in 100% code driven in Spring Boot. Try to avoid XML. If not possible, minimize it. Yeah, there are some concepts which are not possible through annotation. Then no option. We have to go for it. Right. We have practically seen @ qualifier is not supporting placeholders, right? Okay. 10. Oh, what's happening? No such no such bean. It is saying the DAO not there. It is saying the DAO not there. I will tell the reason why it is doing like that. Why it is behaving like that, I will tell. Property file is configured here, right? But in XML, we are using placeholder. So that's why here also you try to configure same property file. Or if you configure here, it will be applied for configuration. Location. If you feel you are configuring 2 times, what you can do is you configure in XML, it also apply for configuration class. Because we are linking XML to configuration class. So if you configure, it will apply for config. Now tell me. Commons / JDBC dot properties. Yes, boss. Real-time test. Name Anil. Address Hyderabad. Principal amount 30,000. Rate of interest to enter time 10 months. Customer registered successfully. Okay, now I want to move to MySQL. See, I am not going to touch source code. I'll comment this. I'll enable this Control+Shift+C. And here to give that field, comment it. I'm going to play only with property file, guys. Cust MySQL DAO. Cust MySQL DAO. Real-time DI test. Okay. Lohit, some name. Address Hyderabad. Principal amount something. Rate of interest this. Now this time it is inserting value to MySQL. We got the success here, boss. We got the success here. Now tell me, if you feel you are configuring in 2 places, you can stop configuring here, it seems. Because you are anything add in XML linked to configuration class. Okay. Now you run the application. Okay. Ramana, Hyderabad, principal amount 50,000, rate of interest 10. Oh, it's giving error. Huh? Oh, key JDBC dot driver not found. Yeah, sorry, boss. You have to configure in both places. Yes, you have to configure in both places because environment object is giving problem, boss. Right? Let it be. That's not an issue now. I think you thoroughly enjoyed this one. Okay, guys. Changing from one DAO to another one DAO to another DAO. Okay, without touching the source code, without touching the Java source code in mini project. In mini project. Okay. What is the simple solution? Use alias tag support. Alias tag support by taking Spring Bean configuration file as additional input file for @configuration class using @import resource annotation. Using @import resource annotation. Keep the above properties file support. Property file support having JDBC properties. That means previous setup is required as it is. Number two, add additional key in properties file specifying the DAO bean ID, the DAO class bean ID that you want to activate. Okay, that you want to activate. Tell me, guys, in JDBC dot properties, here is that boss. Yes, guys, either this or this. I'll give one more option of Kastvara DAO. Either that or this. In JDBC means other content is there along with this content. That is my intention of telling. Along with the other content, this content will be there. Here JDBC properties are there as usually. Okay, guys. In means I'm giving partial content, not the complete content. Now tell me, boss, develop Spring Bean configuration file. Okay, specifying properties file name and alias name for DAO class bean ID. Alias name for DAO class bean ID. Right, guys. Application context.xml com/nt/cfgs. This is application context.xml, guys. Where is this? Where is this? This is there. Copy this, boss. Say paste. Yes. com.nt.jdbc.properties. Done, boss. This is very important. Alias tag. Step number 4. Map or link. Map or link. Srinath, if you ask 100 times also, my answer is same. Spring profiles is the answer. Spring profiles is the answer. As of now, not there. Other annotations are not there. If there, I would have given na. Okay, I'm giving task to you people. You do R&D and tell me. Not there. If you sleep in the middle, get up, and if you ask the same question 20 times, also same answer. Again, one more guy started asking same question. Not there, not there. Okay. Map or link. Not only this, there are some concepts for which annotations are still not ready. So while working with those concepts, Spring Bean configuration file with okay configuration class @configuration class. Okay, guys, @configuration class. Here is my app config.java. Here is my app config.java, guys. So the one what I want to highlight is this import resource I want to highlight. Import resource I want to highlight. Everyone got the clarity, guys? To achieve above thing, to Spring Bean configuration file support, XML support, we need to go for Spring profiles. I'm not saying completely not possible. By using Spring profiles, it's possible. In XML, I said the same thing. Annotation also, I say the same thing. In Spring Boot also, I'll say same thing. Using Spring profiles, possible. Clear, guys? I think you enjoyed today's session also. Tell me, guys, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed today's session. Do I need to spend more time on 100% code-driven approach? Come on, guys. Same. Our internals are already given right yesterday. Worst fellow Chandan. Okay. Ramanji, factory and factory hyphen annotations are not there. If you want to use them again, you have to go for X method level. Wasubi, you are not listening class, guys. You are not listening class, Wasubi. You are sleeping. Look at Wasubi question. Get property and get required property. Get property returns null if key is not available. Get required property throws exception if key is not available. Be in the classroom, Mr. Vasu. Don't sleep in the middle of the class. Right. I think that statement I have given 3 times. Okay, guys. I think you enjoyed it, guys. Amit Kumar used decompiler to see such statements. Use decompilers. Right. Now listen. Still core module is not over, guys. Still lot of core things are there. I have not. See, I said I will teach 5 modes of injections. But as of now, I covered only 2 modes of injection. Setter I covered, constructor I covered. Did I cover aware injection, lookup method injection, method injection? No. Okay, next few days, whatever there, in these days, we are going to discuss remaining 3 injections. If needed, this weekend, Saturday, Sunday also, I'll spend time for Spring Basics only. Friday, I will start Spring Boot and I will give break for Spring Boot on Saturday, Sunday. Again, we will discuss Spring Basics if not completed. Friday, again, Saturday, Sunday break. Monday onwards, Spring Boot will go in a flow. Clear? No hurry burry. Tomorrow, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Total 4 sessions. Still we are going to spend on Spring Basics. Got it? Only Friday Spring Boot will happen. After Friday, again Monday Spring Boot will happen. Thank you guys. Have a nice time.